There's no easy way to say this. The crypto market is in a free fall right now, and things are looking really bloody. And a lot of people are saying the top is in and we're heading much, much lower. Today, we're going to talk about that. We're going to address it. And we're going to go into some of the reasons of why people have been selling, what's going on, the fear in the markets. Has the top already come in, or is this par for the course? And this is just normal bull market crypto behavior. So guys, we're going to get into all of that, and I'm going to tell you about some predictions on what I think happens next and exactly when that happens. If you are anxious and wondering what the hell is going on, do me a favor, destroy that like button. If you're new to the channel, what's up? My name is Chasse. I've been in crypto for 12 years. On this channel, I try to bring to you everything that I've learned, all the pain and suffering and beaten up and bruising and persistence, education, research, so that you guys don't have to have such a painful path like I did. We can make as much money together as humanly possible. With that being said, let's dive into it, guys. Welcome, everybody. And if you are an American, happy 4th of July. So the market looks like this. It just doesn't bother me at all. For a lot of people, it makes them extremely nervous. You know, this should make you a little bit nervous. This chart right here, especially you see this huge, but this is usually what it looks like with this red candle over here. This is a huge volume candle. This is what capitulation looks like. This is what you expect to see kind of when you see a major sell-off that typically marks the bottom. Remember when I showed you the chart the other day of the miners and the miner capitulation and how that also typically had marked the bottom. We'll get into a bit more charts in just a bit and show you how long this might last, if it breaks up or breaks down. And as you can see over here, we have this McDonald's pattern, right? We were broke and then we were rich and then broke again and then rich and then broke again. And but we're not the only ones, right? So Michael Saylor, here's him in 1992. I don't know if he was the order taker at McDonald's or if he was a manager, but you know, look at him today. Persistence, dedication, hard work is going to be what is the result and what actually changes your life. And so you must stick with things. You must endure. And it's not an easy path. It's never an easy path. I mean, you do hear the story once in a blue moon about somebody who got super lucky on some sort of meme coin, bought it at the bottom and just got super rich. But let's not count on that. We're going to try to do some of that stuff, right? But let's not count on it because it's highly unlikely that's going to happen. And anyone who promises you that that's going to happen is probably lying to you. I actually love seeing this. I love seeing the fear and greed index be so low at 29. We want this, right? What is the cardinal golden rule? It is be greedy when others are fearful, be fearful when others are greedy. This is literally how Warren Buffett has always made his money. This is like the cardinal rule of investing, right? It is because the market loves to spit you up and chew you out. It loves to play with your emotions. It loves to push you to the tipping point. This is good. We want to see this. And we'll show you guys, you know, we want to be doing what smart money is doing, right? We don't want to be doing what your emotions is telling you to do, what your friends are telling you to do. You want to look at where is smart money and what are they doing? One thing I find incredibly fascinating is BlackRock just never has an out day from their ETFs. To me, it's obvious. To me, I think anyone who wants to sell BlackRock ETF, BlackRock buys it. BlackRock is adding exposure. BlackRock is adding Bitcoin to their other funds, their other strategies. And so they need to get it somewhere. So they're probably buying it whenever, just so they have this, like they just want to accumulate, right? BlackRock doesn't want to get rid of any of it. It wants to show strength. It wants to be the best. It wants to be number one. And it wants to accumulate as much as humanly possible because they make as much money on that as possible. And they're loving the fact that it's right now at $57,000 or whatever. Love it. Right? You should love it too. If you have money sitting on the sidelines, this is an opportunity right now where you should be considering potentially maybe what it might look like to start entering back into. It's not just me who's saying that, and it's not financial advice either. Of course, do your own research. And yes, long-term holders are selling more than normal. Like there is a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on. Mt. Gox. We've been talking about this for a while. It's been the biggest overhang to date. And as you can see, Mt. Gox right now is money's on the move. So we actually are going to start seeing, and all this stuff we want to go away, right? We want this to go away. We don't want this $10 billion or $8 billion, whatever it is for Mt. Gox, $8.1 billion. We don't want the overhang anymore. Get it out, rip the Band-Aid off, get it out of the way. Let's move on with our life. We also don't want this German government overhang anyway. And as you can see, they started selling already. And Justin Sun, I didn't include it in the show, but Justin Sun made a tweet. I think he just does it for publicity. Maybe he intends to do it, but he said he wants to make a bid for the German government to go buy the OTC. And maybe Maybe they will, but it doesn't matter because also German government took money off of the exchange. So they had money, they had Bitcoin. Maybe they decided it's time to stop selling. Maybe they, maybe they talked to Larry and realized that the world reserve currency in the future is going to become Bitcoin, and maybe they should stop selling the most valuable asset that they have. Maybe that's what the government has finally realized in Germany, that you shouldn't be selling this thing that is so valuable. What are you going to do? Sell it for fiat? Are you insane? That's crazy. You're going to sell it for euro? Like, dumb. Very, very, very dumb. And Chris over here says, if you've been kicked by the market enough, you grow numb to getting kicked again. Regardless of what happens from here, all I see is opportunity. I couldn't agree more. You know, if I'm wrong on this whole thing, but it would be the first time. There's no way. There's no. I just think there's no way, knowing what I know, that we're anywhere close to the top. I think that what's happening right now, maybe a little bit of exaggerated coordinated FUD. It is an attempt to let the institutions, the big money, BlackRock, Fidelity, governments, whoever buy your Bitcoin. In my opinion, like, not financial advice, but I'm not selling my Bitcoin to anybody right now. No way. And El Salvador is buying the dip. Fidelity and BlackRock are buying the dip. Everybody who's smart is buying that. I won't be surprised if we see a post from Michael Saylor tomorrow or something who says he bought the dip. And guys, this is all par for the course. Major corrections along the way up are par for the course. These are the previous bull markets. 2012 into 2013, 2016, 2017, 2020 to 21. And now, you think this is it? You think that we're done here? Nah, no way. Not even close. Here, you can see that we have RSI, and you can see we went over this, right? If you guys haven't seen my video that I made before about how to exactly call the Bitcoin top, go watch it, because you can just see that we're not anywhere close to the Bitcoin top. But what you do have here is you have essentially, and this is probably tapping into the undervalued zone right here. And you can see that it's far into fair value, the price of Bitcoin right now, and probably getting very, very close to undervalued here, right? We can see from the stock to flow ratio chart, every single time this thing has turned into a red dot over here, it starts to turn upward, right? And that's exactly where we are right here. Let's not forget what's going on in the United States right now. Trump is by far leading the polls. Poly markets, I think, put the chances of Biden dropping out at 77% or something like that. And Trump is demolishing all the polls. He says that we want all the remaining Bitcoin to be manufactured here in the United States. This is incredibly bullish for Bitcoin, incredibly bullish for the regulatory environment. We haven't had a clear regulatory environment in the United States. It's being talked about on the presidential campaign path. Like, it is reasons why we should be excited for these kind of things. Another thing too is ETH. Let's not forget that we have, in about 10 days, the Ethereum ETF will probably start trading. And as Luke Martin over here says, that the same thing happened to Bitcoin. Remember, as soon as Bitcoin ETF got approved, we had a big sell-off, and then it ripped 90% after that, right? Because this time we had this big, huge foreshadowing of the ETH ETF being approved, the Bitcoin approval and trading happened like this. Bap, bap. But now we had essentially the ETH ETF approval and trading happening significantly later, and it gave time for that sell-off to happen already. This is why I was saying in the video the other day that I think that probably it's priced in, right? And you can see that it's probably priced in because we've gone down 12% since the announcement of ETH ETF approval. And do I think it's going to go much, much lower? Again, maybe we have some sell-off from Grayscale. We probably will. But don't forget, we're going to have mass, and it's not going to happen all at once. Yeah, Grayscale might unload $5 billion into the market over the course of, 2 months. But that daily outflows will be matched, more than likely, with inflows from BlackRock, Fidelity, and the others. What is also insane is, despite the price going lower, and despite the fact that there's been over $520 million in liquidations in the past 24 hours, open interest, people using leverage, is actually coming up right now. As Byzantine General says, and after all this nuking that Bitcoin has done, open interest is, check notes, check notes again, it's higher than before. It's fucking higher. So you can see here, as price goes down, open interest is actually increasing. People are starting to be extremely, like the insiders, people who know better, people like you, people like me, are starting to get very bullish. We want this sort of capitulation. We want that we know that things historically, almost always, when they feel super, super scary, is the best time to participate. It's the best time to get in. And if you want to go shopping right now, your favorite altcoins are probably somewhere between 50 to 80+% off what they were 3 or 4 months ago. And we know which ones are going to have relative strength. We've been talking about them forever on this channel, right? We know which ones are going to rebound the hardest. We know which ones to be bullish on. And I'm about to bring you more of those in the following days and weeks. But right now, you guys have a really good opportunity to start dollar cost averaging into your favorite alts at insane discounts. Like you can go back to almost, you know, the same prices that alts were, and we saw them. We got to see the foreshadow of which alts have the most strength. And those things are going to run super, super hard as soon as the market bounces back up. And I think that's going to happen quite soon. So what are we in right now? We're in what is called essentially a bear trap. People believe that it is bearish right now, when in fact, we are probably just maybe weeks away from this, which is my favorite stage, my favorite 10 to 12 months out of every 4 years is this, when you just have 10 to 12 months and maybe even longer if it's a super cycle of pure euphoria, where like this stage over here, where it's just amazing. Like your portfolio is going up 25% every single day for like months. It's absolutely crazy. The point is on this is that if you were to exit right now and miss that, it would be a tragedy. And I know that if you guys are watching this, that you have diamond hands. I know that if you're watching this, you must be strong enough, because most weak hands, most people who paper hands who got in here are already gone, right? They came when things looked really good in Q4 last year, when everything was going up like crazy, and they're mostly gone. I know that because we had a ton of new subscribers in coming in Q4, and I think a lot of them left because things have been going down. Congratulations if you're here. It's amazing because you haven't missed this part, and this is the juiciest, sweetest part. And in my opinion, this is going to be the biggest gains, the most insane we've ever seen, because institutions will FOMO just like retail will. We've seen what happens when FOMO kicks in on a retail level, 2017, 2021. Imagine that on steroids, because you're going to have retail FOMOing in, and you're going to have institutions and high net worth individuals all FOMOing. As soon as the price of Bitcoin goes to $70, $80, $90,000, breaks $100,000. Oh man. And there's no other assets that you can invest into. You can't invest into real estate. You can't invest into gold. Gold's been performing horribly. Like, what else are you going to do? The best thing you can do is like, well, stocks are doing pretty well, and they probably will continue to go pretty well, but they're actually pretty high. Nvidia is probably going to keep going higher. Tesla, the AI stocks, but like crypto is a real thing, right? And people can just see it's being adopted on a massive level. So that's probably the most bullish thing that people could do, is invest into crypto. So we will have crazy institutional FOMO so this is why I think we're going to have one of the biggest cycles that anyone has ever seen. I think that people's price targets are way too conservative. That's me personally. Do your own research. This is literally just my opinion, and you should not take it as gospel. But I was talking to Crash, and he sent me this chart. You have essentially the US presidential elections happening here every 4 years here. And look what happens immediately after that, right? Look at range bound, bam, range bound here, sideways, range bound here, kind of. This one was kind of going up already. Range bound here a little bit, range bound here a little bit, going up a little bit. We're very, very close to this election, bam, up. Election, bam, up. Election, bam, up. Every single cycle before has happened. And you expect this to be any different? I don't think so, guys. I really, truly don't think so. And let's not forget, the last thing too is that Mt. Gox is coming. So yeah, we have these events that we have to get over. We have to get through this Mt. Gox stuff. We have to get through the grayscale offloading, the German government. But after that, that's all gone. And the best thing that is coming in October is $16 billion of FTX money coming into the market, ready to help stimulate us into a wild Q4 and into a wild 2025, in my opinion. Now, trading is extremely dangerous. So don't become one of these people who had lost $500 and something million from leverage trading right now. And it's choppy. It's going to be choppy for some time more. I don't know how long, right? We have this very volatile time ahead of us. And as you guys know, I'm in the middle of making this kind of 6-part series of these different ecosystems. And so today I was going to make another one on either Solana, Bitcoin ecosystem, or Ethereum extended. I've got all these shows ready to go. But I wanted to make this one because the markets are so bad. But I wanted to make sure that you guys don't get discouraged and keep your head focused. Relax. Relax. I know it's hard to do, but just relax. And if you have extra time, 1, learn, but 2, if you need extra money, go do whatever you can to be able to go earn as much as you can right now. Because right now, the likelihood that you make money until we get a decisive move up is quite small. However, if you go find, if you apply skills, right? If you go get a job and or if you go learn how to code Python, you know, you just buckle down and you spend a couple weeks and you just dig into it, and like you can really start building, you know, agentic frameworks for AI, or you can go whatever you can do, just YouTube side hustles, make money so you can put it into this market, because every dollar that you earn, think of it as a $5, $10, $20, $100 potentially over the next 12 months, right? So if you make $5,000, you know, that's potentially $50, $100, $200,000 coming up in this bull run. It's really hard to be a really good trader and make money in this market. Personally, unless you're a professional, I would suggest being very, very cautious about that and placing your bets on your hard-earned money into more solid picks. The meme coin space has turned into very much a PvP environment, which has been very toxic, very hard to play, and most people are losing money unless you're an insider or get extremely lucky. I am going to post a blog post soon, builds on what Meow is doing. He did a blog post called Player Pumps Player, and then I elaborated on that. I'm making my first blog post, the first of many I'm about to do, called Protocol Pumps Player. I'll tell you why I think that's really, really valuable and some examples of what that has done. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up today. I just want to hopefully bring some reassurance to you, let you know that I'm personally not worried and that I'll be here for you guys. I plan on also being much more active within the community. And if you guys have any questions, let me know, or one of our moderators in the community. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.